I guess he's not young Jamie because young Jamie's actually older. This would be like, what's double young? Like half of young Jamie's age. What would you, infant Jamie? Is that what we'd call him?
Toddler
Jamie.
Toddler Jamie. Hi guys. Sorry we keep taking weeks off, but stuff happens.
It was Mother's Day.
Yeah,
okay?
It was Mother's.
We have mothers that we like very much.
And also our schedules don't line up, but now they should because my hours are changing at work. Anyways, welcome to Talking Rad Podcast. This is episode 195.
Hello.
Yeah, I believe it is one.
Yeah. Right up there.
I think it's 195.
It says right up there.
I understand it says that, but I could have made a mistake.
Okay.
Skylar,
Well,
stop mistaking.
whatever episode you see at the bottom or see wherever. Speaking of, I don't think I uploaded the last one to Spotify. I should do that.
Ripped it all the Spotify
Riggedy.
I guess they'll get 2 episodes in the same week.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Knife was on accident.
Yeah, I I totally blanked.
That's why we need a young Jamie that does all that for us.
Wink, wink.
There actually is someone off the camera. He's just.
His name is Jamie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he just
young
makes
Jamie.
sure. He's make sure. That,
I guess he's not young Jamie because young Jamie's actually older. This would be like, what's double young? Like half of young Jamie's age. What would you, infant Jamie? Is that what we'd call him?
Toddler
Jamie.
Toddler Jamie.
There's a lot of things that have happened in the last couple weeks as far as the gaming community is concerned.
I want to talk about something too.
We should start with yours and just see where it goes.
Okay. So, as you fine gentlemen know, I have started playing Minecraft for the very first time in my entire life. This is brand new to me. Never played this game before. Figured, hey, after 15 years, I could probably jump onto it.
Well, what I remember is you have played it before. It's just that you played a super old version.
There's video evidence.
I was
of you
gaslighting
playing
you gamers that I haven't played. No, I've
Yeah.
played Minecraft plenty. It's probably one of the games I played the most in my entire life. It's 15 years old this year. I'm an old man. I want to beat the dragon. I've never beat the dragon, so I'm playing by myself, and I'm just loving it, dude. I'm really enjoying my time with Minecraft. There's a bunch of new stuff that I just don't know what the freak's going on, but hey, some of the blocks are pretty.
Nice.
Good. Wow. Well, gee, it's not like there's a dedicated wiki that's been updated for as long as the game's been around.
So what is the game that you guys have played the most but have never beat?
That's probably Minecraft. Probably
You've never beat Minecraft either.
I've always wanted to go beat the Ender Dragon. But
You could go on this pilgrimage with me if you'd like.
I guess.
You can't join my game though. I'm
Okay.
playing solo. You jerk.
Okay.
You too, jerk.
Can you join me then, Because I actually need to just get a bunch of Minecraft footage in the next week.
Okay. Sure. Yeah. Just
I'm soloing.
make a server and I'll hop
This
on.
guy doesn't have any friends.
0 friends. That's my life, and I love it.
To answer your question, though, I think mine is probably Grand Theft Auto 5.
Well, you've not played that much of it, have you?
Oh, I've played hours and hours with the boys. I guess the single player, I've only beat the first mission, but I've played probably 20 or 30 hours.
That's counted not beating it because it's still the same game.
I don't know. Like, there's got to be a bigger one, right? There's got to be a bigger number. 20 to 30 hours in that much. I'm talking, I probably put hundreds of hours into Minecraft.
I've got 2. These come from when I was specifically a child. Pokemon Stadium 1. I've never beaten it.
Can you beat Pokemon Stadium, though?
Yeah, you could get all the gym badges and trophies. Well, I guess they're trophies, but it's not a gym badge. Because you get 8 gym badges per, like you could do a difficulty. That was loud. Do a difficulty, and there's 8 gym badges you have to get, and then you get a trophy after that. Oh. And there's Great Ball difficulty, Master Ball, Ultra Ball difficulty.
Wow, you're the Pokemon guy. You didn't know this.
No, I did. I was just making conversation.
You were testing.
I was like Skylar taught.
I didn't know this either.
From what I understand, though, to actually you probably don't necessarily need to win, but to get all the things the best, you probably should play through Pokemon Red and then use your Pokemon team from that game in Stadium.
Yeah,
you have to have the little device thing.
The way that I've played Pokemon Stadium my entire life is not the correct way, but I didn't know because I was 3 years old.
I recently heard somebody describe Pokemon Stadium as the post game for Pokemon Red, and I was like, huh.
It's really cool to look at it that way because there's tons of content in that game. Even just playing it vanilla like I did and not playing it the correct way.
Can't you use the little Game Boy reader for gold and silver for Pokemon Stadium 2?
Yep.
Okay. So his thoughts like, wait, does it know compatible with Game Boy Color? I guess it is. I guess it just depends on the game and the data because I guess Game Boy Color games are just kind of the same just with color.
You know what I would really want to do? And this, honestly, we could probably put together probably after I build my computer, and we can use my other computer to potentially set something up in the living room to record footage. I would love to do a Let's Play of Pokemon Stadium with you, and I guess whoever else wants to join.
We have to play Pokemon Red first, then. So
I want to see. Well, I want to see if we could do it without doing that. I want to see if your Pokemon knowledge would be good enough to beat it the way that I played.
Pokemon Stadium on the GBA player on the GameCube. And
well, because you have everything we would need to transfer it over, correct? Or so we would need to buy the N64 adapter thing.
Yep. I don't have that.
I'd be down to buy that anyway.
I don't think it's expensive.
Yeah, but I think it'd be really fun because I want to do a rewind episode on Pokemon Stadium of if we could play it the vanilla way to do a Let's Play just to get footage, but also it'd be fun. And then afterwards, not necessarily play through it again, but like do a couple gyms of playing it the right way.
We'd have to play through Red. I don't have a beat copy of Pokemon Red. I've got like a Gym 1 done in Pokemon Red.
I feel like we could get young Jamie to do that for us.
Play through Pokemon Red.
Wait a minute.
He's so excited. Oh. Is that your favorite one?
Oh, yeah. I guess there is no Pokemon Red on the Switch, at least not yet. But there is Pokemon Stadium on the Switch, and so that's I guess years ago people were asking, "Where's Red? I want to transfer
you'd have to
my
play
games."
on the cartridge.
Yeah, there would be no way to do that via the Switch hardware,
I know,
right?
Not at all. Zero possible way. Yeah, the only way to play your Pokemon Red games on the Stadium is through the original cartridge.
The only way to do that for the Switch is if they actually brought Red to the Switch,
and if they made it compatible.
Yeah,
which is a big if.
Yeah.
So
they have to probably make a separate app just to go oh, here it is.
Pokemon Red was on the 3DS Virtual Console as well, and that connects to Pokemon Bank, which is cool, but that's all it does. You couldn't connect that to a Stadium because there's no physical cartridge thing.
Yeah.
So there's still a way to go from Red all the way up to Scarlet, right, with your Pokemon?
Currently, yes,
but it's
not cartridge Red. You've never been able to take cartridge Red up to Scarlet. Unless you do some questionable methods, which is you get your copy of cartridge Red, you dump the save file, you have to convert the save file to a 3DS save file, and then you upload it to your 3DS through your modded 3DS, and then you can transfer to Pokemon Bank. But all of this goes away if Pokemon Bank shuts down, and currently 3DS online services are shut down, so Pokemon Bank, who knows when that'll shut down?
It's inevitable, right?
It's inevitability.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think at that point that Pokemon has done something where you can play all of the games on the Switch. That's not happening, though. There's no freaking way that that's happening. Because then they lose money on sales for remakes. Because why would these boomers play Pokemon Crystal when they could play Pokemon Super Uber Go Crystal Fast? And then... I'd rather play that game too. I'm not gonna be honest. I'd rather play that game.
See, and I think Nintendo knows, and this is kind of like my thoughts on the Xbox thing with Call of Duty too. But going back to the Nintendo thing, they already have Game Boy games on there, correct? Yeah, they do. Yeah. They have Game Boy games on there. You're right, though. Why would they put the bangers on there that they could do remakes?
Well, they're not bangers. They suck.
Okay, well, everyone sees them as bangers.
They're all wrong.
And it's everybody always says oh, well, eventually they're going to get a GameCube on there as well. Maybe, but are they going to have all the bangers on there?
Here's the next question. I got a question, and it's a good segue to another topic, but I want to keep talking about this. So, F that segue. Maybe if I remember it later, you'll get it. Pokemon Stadium and, Pokemon, Red and Blue are interesting because, I just shut down the whole conversation. We're going back to those. I want to talk more about Pokemon.
Go ahead.
Okay. So the Generation 1 games are inherently flawed just in so many different ways. And so this goes back to you talking about my knowledge of the game that we could probably cheese our way through. Mm-hmm. We'd want a Venusaur on our team or an Ivysaur or whatever the freak it lets us have. and Abra or excuse me, a Kadabra specifically, or an Alakazam. But they let us. I don't think they let us have an Alakazam. If you have those 2 Pokemon though, you just win the whole game, right?
It just depends on what, because there's 4 different like level caps that you can play as. So like this one would be normal, it'd be like level 1 through 100, and then you have like level 1 through 50, level 1 through 75, and then the hardest one was level 1 through 150, which I believe was cap. Anyway, with Pokemon Stadium, you can unlock Mew and I believe Mewtwo. I never did that.
Mewtwo's good. Mew's not good. Mew's pretty bad.
I just never did. I always thought it was really cool because I do remember that in one of the gym battles you do, you have to fight Mew. I don't know if you have to fight Mewtwo as well. I think you do, but I could never get past Mew. Once again, all I did is I would get my 3 legendary birds, and then I'd put like Charizard, Blastoise, and Venusaur in there. I had no knowledge of Pokemon. My team sucked, as you can tell based off of my picks.
Well, you had 2 fire flying types if that's your team, which is one of the worst typings in the game.
Yeah, and I think you can only pick. Oh, I think you can pick all 6. Maybe it was only 3. Actually, I think
I was gonna say it sounded like 3. You could take 3 to the battle.
Yeah, you could only pick 3 to the battle. So my team was not well rounded, and also with my knowledge of Pokemon now, you can't switch out any of the moves. Like they got predetermined moves.
The reason I say like Kadabra and Venusaur specifically is like, Kadabra, Alakazam, they destroy the entire game. They're the strongest Pokemon in Generation 1 besides Mewtwo, and like they've got no counters. Ghost type is broken in that game, so it doesn't do anything to Psychic types. And there's no bug type moves in the game that are actually worthwhile. So Psychic is dominant in Generation 1.
Fairy didn't exist?
Fairy didn't exist.
Is that the counter for...
No.
Oh, Fairy's not a counter for any of them?
Dark is, but Dark didn't exist either.
Okay.
So the 2 counters to Psychic type, one of them is literally broken, so it doesn't work, so Psychic's actually strong against it. And then the other counter just doesn't have any good attacking moves.
So is that one of the reasons why you say Gen 1's bad?
Yeah, Generation 1's really bad.
So the balancing just was terrible.
The balancing's terrible. There's so many glitches you can just stumble across if you play through the game. And here's another one. This is why Venusaur is good, because the way critical hits are determined are based on something about the move and specifically the speed of the Pokemon. And Venusaur was just fast enough to get a critical hit every single time with Razor Leaf without fail.
Wow.
He hits Razor Leaf, it will be a critical hit no matter what. Like that kind of stuff is just broken. It's just like, cheats the game.
One funny quirk that I always did with Pokemon Stadium, and I thought that's just how it worked, is I thought that I had to pick my move as fast as I could so I could go first. No, it works.
No, yeah.
Your Pokemon have stats. I just didn't know anything about it, honestly.
Yeah.
All I did know is I knew that fire burned grass, water put out fire.
Yeah, that's all you know.
I did not like the little like, hey, each button is mapped to it. Sure, that's convenient, but it's like, just give me a menu. Like,
no. I prefer that, actually. I think that's a far better system. Think of Persona 5, right?
Yeah.
I can come when I think about Persona 5's UI design. Like, it looks really nice, and it may not look the greatest when it comes to like UI design, UX design, but like, man, the fact they just got the freaking buttons on their face to tell you what they do, and then Pokemon Stadium was doing that.
I think the problem is like how small it was on screen, kind of how it's laid out. It's like, okay, what
it's not pretty to look at. It literally looks like the old Windows text. It's all white.
Sure. But they were onto something.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the other reason why they did it back in the day is if you're playing against somebody, they don't see what move you pick.
Yeah, that's true. Because then.
I think what they could have done was they could have had like, all right, press whichever button you're going to use and then press the D-pad for what items, from what move. Nobody's going to see that. I don't know.
I think they did it right. They just did it ugly.
Here's another one. This is my obligatory have to mention Xenoblade Chronicles.
Let's go.
They've got the same freaking thing, dude.
Yeah.
And they have 8 different moves. Well, there's more than 8, just the way that they do it.
Yep.
Oh, man, it's so good. No, I totally agree.
The face buttons, dude.
One of the things that bugged me about at least some of the JRPGs I've played is menuing. Dude, menuing's such a nightmare. And then you have to manually scroll through everything. Bothers me. I'm a button guy, too. I prefer it.
What's funny is they almost did it in Pokemon Legends Arceus. They only like half baked it in, and it wasn't that great. And then Scarlet and Violet didn't do it at all. They just have menus they just scroll through. It just sucks. It just sucks so bad, dude. Everybody just learn from some of the greatest RPGs ever. You got Xenoblade, you got Persona 5, even freaking Persona 3 Reload, like that did it too. Like people that make RPGs just copy them because they did it right. They did it right.
Going back to jerking off and also dunking on Pokemon Stadium, I watched this video comparing animations from Pokemon Stadium to even later Pokemon games. It's insane how good the animations were back then. And the models looked really good too.
I have a lot of hot takes about this, but you don't want to hear them right now.
On animations?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm curious.
The stadium's trash. It's garbage. It's so ugly. You
Like-
got freaking cracked out Venusaur. You think that's a good model? No, that's not a good model at all.
I guess maybe for back in the day. I will say the models
They
now
had
look incredible.
150 Pokemon to make animations for, and only the ones that are fan favorites got the good animations. Like, let's be real.
See, all the ones I played got good animations.
Exactly. And then they reused them all the way through the GameCube, and people still was like, oh my gosh, Pokemon's peaked because of this.
They
I'm
were
like,
just
no, you
jerking them
used a
off.
freaking 10-year-old model at this point. Get the freak out of here. Yeah, obviously the freaking animations in Pokemon nowadays, like, have a lot to be desired, but, like, it's tackle. You're not going to be using tackle the entire game. That's why that move looks like garbage, because you're going to get rid of it as soon as you want, as soon as you possibly can. Pokemon Stadium is also curated, especially if you don't bring your own Pokemon in, because they get to choose the moves these Pokemon are going to get, so they only have to focus on these moves. Yeah, I know what video we're talking about. It's Daryl, and like I love Daryl, but like he makes a lot of good points, but nah, bro, like.
Well,
Just
after learning more about it too, though, is like I understand. Like you already just mentioned, for one, they had less to deal with. We have over 1,000 Pokemon now. That being said, do you happen to know off the top of your head how many moves there are amongst all the different Pokemon? Because obviously moves are shared.
Currently?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like close to 5,000, I think, plus.
Different moves?
Yeah, there's a lot of effing Pokemon moves.
Well, yeah, good luck doing
There's
all
a
the
lot,
animations.
maybe
for
not
that
5,000. Maybe that's a big number. We'll say 3,000 to be generous.
then. Let's hit it. Let's hit
How many
the
Pokemon
Goog.
moves are there? And I know that like they leave some out of the current games too. So freak, it's a lot. Maybe it's not 3,000. It just sucks because you end up only using like a pool of like 50 to 100 because those are the good ones.
You know,
Over 1,000 moves.
I wanted to interject.
That's Google AI garbage. Scroll down.
Yeah, Google AI is joke.
934.
I'll tell you right now,
Generation 9.
they pull up Google AI, like instead of giving me the option, there's no consent.
Are you
So we-
sure? It just seems like there's so much more. That doesn't sound right. Having less moves than there are current Pokemon.
Bulbapedia.
So,
Like I like Bulbapedia, and I definitely agree with them, but that just seems low.
So yeah,
I think, right there,
my gripe
934.
about Google AI feels like there's no consent. It's just like there's the first thing you see. It's like no, let me
Google
just
sucks now.
let me either turn it off or just like say, hey, would you like an AI answer? And be like, no.
I don't want an AI answer.
Yeah.
It's wrong half
They-
the time.
The reason why they do it's like, oh, we gotta force it upon people. We can't like they're not gonna use it if we don't. People have a
So I was way wrong about the move, the amount of moves. But I'm still correct on you only use like 50 of these.
Yeah, this is insane.
There's 1,000 of them, but you're only using like 50 of them.
I am blown away that there's that many moves they've come up with.
Because like you got a fire type. What are you using?
Flamethrower.
Yeah. What are you not using? Ember, Flame Will, freaking Fire Spin, freaking Fire Fang. If you want a physical fire type, you got Flare Blitz. You don't use freaking Fire Fang. Fire Punch. That I guess if you got a Pokemon that only knows Fire Punch, you use
Blast.
that. But at that point, why are you even using Fire Punch? There's probably better moves it can learn.
hell they could even sneak in Cum Blast and no one would notice.
No one would notice.
See, I think the biggest thing for me, you've already hit on all the points. For one, Pokemon Stadium only had 151 Pokemon. Yeah, 151. And all the animations that I would see on repeat were all the fan favorite Pokemon, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
There's
Coming
a freaking
from
spider crawling in that.
In what?
in the
in
light.
the light.
Where?
That little
in
black dot? That's
The
not a
other
spider. It's
well,
been
there was
forever.
one over there. It crawled.
He instantly gets
Oh
up.
my god, dude! It's not even.
Is
it's,
it in there? Or is
Yeah,
are you just
it's
talking about
in
just that
there.
black dot?
No. There's look. What see right there? See it now?
Oh.
He's a little guy.
And,
I dislike him.
We'll get him later.
If we don't
afterwards.
get him,
Yeah.
he's gonna build a house
I
in
know.
there.
So we have to remind ourselves. To
Anyway, yeah, Pokemon's bad. That's the consensus. Just don't play Pokemon unless you just love it. Love it.
If you want to feel better, a lot of first RPGs in a series weren't good, and then remakes made them better. Like Final Fantasy 1 on the NES.
But I thought Pokemon remakes are bad.
Didn't work half the time. Everyone
They're
plays.
making bad games. They're making bad games.
Everyone remade Leaf Green and Fire Red and Leaf Green, and that's considered like vastly improved.
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee are far better. That's a hot take. I understand, but I think it's a correct take.
What?
I mean, you are the resident Pokemon man in this house.
People will say,
Quest.
"Oh, I can't battle wild Pokemon in Let's Go Pikachu." Why would you ever want to battle wild Pokemon? Are you insane?
Because they don't want shared XP and they want to grind
Dragon
for
Quest
20,
1,
30
you're
hours.
just one-guying it the whole time. Witcher 1, jank. Very jank.
Can we settle this debate right now? It's not even a debate. Shared experience is a must when it comes to RPGs with parties.
Yeah.
Anyone that thinks otherwise is insane. I agree.
Unless they make it the way so that you don't have to do shared experience, like Final Fantasy 6, where they're just like, hey, you get certain party members here, you get other party members. If whoever party member you pick at this point, you're gonna stick with that one for a while. It's like narrative weaved with party.
That's different.
I understand that. I think having like choose your characters. And then it disincentivizes you to ever try any others because you're like, well, I already built this up.
Yeah.
You can pick like 4 out of the total like 9 or something like that. You pick 4 and like the other 5 don't get leveled up. You're like, well, looks like I'm never using those 5.
Yeah.
It's a similar issue I have with some like shooters where the one that comes to mind is Metro specifically. Metro, the last one.
Exodus.
Yeah.
Where you can level up guns. Maybe it wasn't Exodus. I can't remember. One of them, you can level up your gun, but then you continually find other guns. And it's like, well, why would I ever try anything else? Because I've already put $1,000 into leveling this one up.
Fair. Very fair.
Remember C-Dog VA Connor? He was playing Final Fantasy 8 in like a marathon. Like, I don't turn off the stream until this game's beaten. And at the beginning of the final boss in Final Fantasy 8, his like first 6 he sent out, he said, "All right, I want you to die so I get my other 3 out." He's clearly not leveling those guys up and just put out his power 3. Try to get his power 3 out as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's just sad. Make a experience share a thing in every video game. I want it in Halo, please. Okay, I think it's time that we can now do the transit.
Wait.
I was just BSing. I don't know what you would even do in Halo.
I did think of an interesting concept for multiplayer.
Level up your suit.
I thought of
Jerkinator.
there would be like a guild system, and if your friends are part of that guild, who's ever playing online, while you're not, they still get like rewards and experience. They don't get as much if they're with you, but like they get.
You want to know a good one? Want to know a good?
And then when you hop back in, it's like, oh, I got all this experience. Kind of like it's the community thing in Helldivers 2, where it's like
I was just gonna point that out.
There's a big objective that like, hey, everyone focus on this planet or whatever, and then if everyone does it, you get medals for it. And now new stratagems.
Yeah, even if you didn't participate in that event, the next time you log on, you get the rewards for it.
If people finished it. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jerkinators, this is not the other topic I was talking about, but we'll just quickly touch on this because I want to hear your thoughts on it. So, may I see your water bottle thing? Twitter gets a lot of ads nowadays, and the only ads that they get because no one likes Elon Musk is Jerkinator ads. And I saw one the other day. It was a water bottle, but you could screw off the bottom and
do your business. It wasn't an actual water bottle. It was a hide it in plain sight thingy. But what?
like my first thought was like, what if like Sony just grabs it and goes, oh.
Wait. So I thought you said.
I don't think the water bottle side works at all. But like, that's my only thought is like they pick it up, try to get a drink of water, and go, wait a second, there's no water in here. And like, what? You know.
I thought you said Twitch for a second. My mind's like, oh
no, Twitter.
Twitter. Yeah, I heard Twitter. It's like, oh, that makes sense.
What do you get? Why are you trying to be like? You're just
conspicuous about it.
You're just rubbing in a water bottle. People are gonna see you like.
Well, they're not gonna see you like. That's not the you don't do it in like
in
around
public?
people.
Okay.
That's not the conspicuous. It's like you can like use it and then like you put it on your bedside and nobody ever thinks anything else of it.
But wouldn't you want to go clean it off?
Probably, yeah. I'm just saying, if when you guys see a water bottle on my bedside, then hey, don't go
Should I
drinking.
shake it
Honestly,
first? Is that what you're
Don't go
saying?
drinking.
I honestly, here's my thing. I honestly don't want anyone drinking out my water bottle. So if you see my water bottle, please do not
don't
drink.
drink it
Yeah,
in
just
general.
don't drink out
Yeah,
of it.
those
That's
are
my
pretty bad
water
scenario.
bottle.
Nobody's gonna just drink your water bottle for fun.
Wait,
like,
do we need to
Except
check your
for maybe
bottom
like a
thing?
little maybe a child would drink out of it because like, oh, water, like because
We're good.
children don't have set boundaries sometimes.
That's true. Very true. That's the truth.
So yeah, if you
I've
have,
seen it.
so it's like, hey, this is Daddy's water bottle. Don't drink it.
There's no children anywhere around any of us.
Yeah, good. That's a
I've
good
got
thing.
nieces and nephews
How often do you see them?
fairly frequently.
Are you gonna bring your
Define that.
special water bottle when you go see them?
No, obviously not. I'm thinking like if they happen to visit me here,
I'd say hi.
I'm not gonna get the special water
Yeah.
bottle, mind you. I just gotta
Exactly.
point that out really quick. I don't want
Oh,
this special water.
I wanted like a 2-part review on it. 5 minutes each.
See how good the water is and how good the sesh is. Okay, let's actually talk about the actual thing that I wanted to bring up a little bit ago. So we were talking about the virtual console stuff on the Nintendo Switch, and I was going to say this. So, with the new Switch potentially coming out next year, do you think that they're just going to transfer all of that over, or are they going to do a fresh start like they do with every single generation?
I hope they don't.
I hope they just transfer it over.
Yeah.
I hope that everything like that from here on out goes the Xbox.
It's not
route.
hope out hopes, boys. It's what do you think is going to happen?
Oh.
Do
So
you
I
actually think they might, or do you think they won't?
I hope they do. I hope they might. I hope they might.
No more
sir.
hopes. Tell me what you think, actually.
I think if they don't do it, they're stupid, and it's very not consumer friendly.
I understand that too, and I
I
agree.
think they will. I
You
think they will
Okay,
do it.
Thank you.
I'm
That's
gonna
what I was
hold out
going
hope
for.
and say yes, they do. It's just gonna be a simple transfer
Sarah,
of
the hope
a.
again.
Yes or no?
I'm just gonna
He
say
wants
it's
a copium.
it's. I'd say it's easy to do it, and
Yeah.
they should. And I'm gonna roll the dice and say yes.
These
they
are the
do
two
it.
things that I think that Nintendo will do, and if they don't, they're bad. One, they transfer everything over like you're saying, and two, it's backwards compatible.
So the thing with the Wii and Wii U, you could still play those Wii games off there. And let me just say this: the most laziest thing, they just threw in a Wii emulator into the whole thing.
I think it's got Wii hardware, but
yeah.
it's more like you could
Instead of having it, instead of having making certain games like compatible with the Wii just to play them, instead they just said, "I will just dump a whole Wii emulator." I mean, it's convenient, but it's like,
Isn't that what the PS2 was? Or was it the same hardware?
Yeah,
Like
it
the
was
PS1?
hardware.
yeah, it's the same
so
hardware.
was the Wii U. I don't know why the word emulator is deceiving because it wasn't an emulator. It was playing off of the hardware. The Wii was.
Yeah.
I mean, I
But it's like-
understand. I guess.
Same with
You just-
GameCube
but the
on
fact
Wii,
you
too.
had
That was
to-
hardware.
But the fact you had to just load up
I
an entire
concur.
menu,
It was a joke.
Yeah, like I didn't like that part. That's why it felt like they just stuck an
it
emulator
feels like
in
an
it.
emulator.
Yeah,
You're just swapping to the other OS.
yeah, that's like it's just it's just
So
they
it's-
took the whole Wii OS and just put everything on
essentially,
there.
you've got a Wii inside the Wii U.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like you had a GameCube inside of the Wii.
Instead of just
a
making
PS2
you
inside of a PS3.
able to play Wii games right off that menu, like they could have done that.
I wonder if there's a lot of difficult nuances to doing something like that.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why Xbox doesn't use that. They just emulate all their stuff with their backwards compatibility.
Well, here's an example that's happened recently with young Jamie. Is he was trying to play Dead by Daylight on the newest Xbox when I believe that game released on the Xbox One. I don't know how difficult it is to transfer game versions to different consoles. I don't know if the Xbox One version is literally the exact same as
I
the
think that
Series
one.
X.
I think that one.
Is that one?
I'm pretty sure all Xbox One games and all Xbox Series X games are the same.
Okay, then
Yeah.
that just goes back to Microsoft being bad.
Mike,
Or maybe
Oh.
it's specifically his Xbox.
you don't think they're bad? literally like buy a Series X. You look at the controllers, like this is the same controller.
But it's cool. It feels comfortable.
Yeah.
When a company makes the best controller, they don't need a change. When they clearly solo the entirety of controllers that's ever existed, they don't need a change. Nothing tops an Xbox controller.
I would have liked to see something different. At least PS5, they do try
What if
to
they do
change.
something different and it's trash? Then you got to sit with a crappy controller for the next 5 years.
I'd say take that and make little improvements. I know there's a few.
They did.
Yeah.
What
From the
would you-
360 to that, and then from the Xbox One to this, little improvements. Like look at the D-pad, far better than it was on the Xbox One, in my opinion.
I don't think the 360's D-pad was great either.
Oh, the 360's D-pad was atrocious. That was the worst part about the controller. I love the D-pad on the new controllers, though.
Oh yeah, the D-pad's is a classic.
Do you guys like clicky D-pads?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Hot take. I guess it's not even a hot take. This is just me. Whenever I play platformers, I never use a D-pad. I never use the D-pad.
Did you play through the entirety of Celeste without a D-pad?
No, there were the harder sections. I would go to the D-pad, but yes, pretty much.
Okay. See you guys.
It's that precision.
I
I
understand.
don't know how, dude. I have no idea how.
I
No clue.
understand the reasoning behind it. Yes, you need it to be precise. I'm just a dumb baddie.
When I first started Celeste, I want to say 50% plus of my deaths were because I was trying to use the joystick instead of using a D-pad. After all, I just gave them just use the just use the D-pad, and I was like, oh freak. Obviously, this is how it's supposed to be played.
My mind will when I'm playing a platform, or if there's an analog, will sometimes go to it, and it's like, why am I having? And switch. It's like I switched the D-pad.
I've never liked playing games with the D-pad. I've never liked it. It's probably obviously something
really
I
does
should go back to.
It really does depend on the D-pad because like playing with the 360.
And that
You
checks
grew up
out.
on Xbox.
That checks out.
Yeah.
I had an N64, which the D-pad was not.
No, that's wrong. The N60,
I didn't like it.
N64 D-pad's good. It's just
well,
in a
that's
weird
the
spot.
problem. Yeah, it's like you have to. Everyone's thinking you're doing this. No, it's
It's a
actually
good
supposed to
D-pad.
move your hand over like this. That was the
It's
intention.
just in a weird spot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all of the games that I played, I never used the D-pad.
Yeah. Yep. But if you did have to use them, it's really good actually.
Okay, well, I didn't
Because
like
it's just
it.
a Super Nintendo D-pad
Yeah.
and just an NES D-pad.
The intention was like, oh, you could play it two ways, this way or this way. It's
See,
really
Or
dumb.
this way. There was some games that did this.
Wasn't this
I don't know
the
which
shooters? The
No,
shooters?
this is the shooters. 2 controllers, baby.
Oh,
Oh.
I'm not even kidding. That was a thing.
That's terrible.
I
How are
think
you
you
going
could
to
do
click the
GoldenEye with
buttons?
2 controllers. You just have the back, and then you have the 2 joysticks.
Yeah, I guess there really
What do you
is
need?
just shoot.
Reload, shoot.
Yeah. Well, there's a switch weapons button.
Maybe you just bump the triggers.
Yeah, that could work too.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, the D-pads I had the N64 D-pad, which never really got used, and then I had a 360. Because like the original Xbox D-pad, I thought was trash too.
That's even worse
Like
than
on the
360.
Dukes, it's like looks like they took Play-Doh and just mushed it.
Yeah.
Like, this is trash.
Yep, it's bad.
And, oh man, the Xbox controller. Not only were the early ones big, they like third party would actually put the black and white buttons at the top because like that's where they should have been at the first instead of on the side somewhere. It's
They
like,
had them on the bottom. On
yeah,
solo
and then
mode.
you were like you had to stretch your thumb down all the way to get to like press that. And it's like, why is this down there? Just put it up here.
You know what's cool though?
Copy what PS2 was doing.
They figured it out.
Yeah.
Xbox figured it out. Also with the Duke, it was a manufacturing issue, and that's why they were so fat. But they figured it out.
Yeah.
The PlayStation D-pad's also kind of bad. Not anymore. I think the
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 D-pad's good.
See, the PS2 D-pad
PS4
I used a
D-pad's
lot.
okay. I don't like the PS2 D-pad. Like I mean, I use it a lot as a kid too. But like I go back to it and go, wow, this sucks.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. I just remember using that one a ton.
And I'm pretty sure it's because Nintendo had a patent on D-pads. So they were all trying to come up with their own thing.
That's really silly and stupid that they would even allow that.
One of the worst controllers that people still use. I mean, people like the company still uses, even though everyone hates the Atari 2600 joystick. It's so stiff. It's like and then like you look at what arcades were doing. They're like full roll-in movement with the
It's like a stick shift.
Yeah, stick shift. Like pole position.
Wait, do that one again.
Pole position. Yeah, like
You got to be the Nick Cage. Whoa, whoa.
yeah, and maybe that was like maybe that was a manufacturer thing. I don't know. But you're like it just doesn't feel good.
I just think that it was new and nobody knew what they were doing because video games were still toys at that point.
Arcades existed, and if you played on it, like if you wanted Atari 2600, you've been to an arcade. You probably lived like walking distance from an arcade at some point. I don't know. It's just kind of hard to fathom. I think I think there was even back then there was like methods like here's how to put a superior analog stick in your Atari 2600 controller, or here you could buy this arcade Atari 2600. I'm pretty sure I've seen where people have made that where it's like the superior arcade version of the
like the NES Advantage.
Yeah, like the NES Advantage.
There we go. I got it going.
I have a 8-bit-do gamepad like that. I'm sorry, I've been on tangent. We've been on tangent about controllers. Let's talk about his juicy.
Yeah, let's get into your juice, your ooze, your gush.
Well, I guess
Wait. Is this about Microsoft?
Gluck.
It's just about gaming in general,
yeah.
specifically gamers that are stupid. I'm not saying it's you specifically, but
He
you could be
definitely
this.
is. He pointed at you.
You could be this gamer, and we're going to teach you why you're wrong. Console exclusives are bad for the consumer. People that are stuck in this console war fanboy, am I saying that right? Boingdom?
Boingdom. With a G on it.
Bongdom. Fanboyism. They need to get over themselves. Like, as you guys probably have heard the rumors of Squeenix going multi-plat with their games instead of just Sony exclusive.
I want to play a Squeenix game on my 3DS.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. It's going to happen. I'm going to buy Final Fantasy for the Xbox, and I'm going to buy Halo for the PlayStation, and I'm going to put them next to each other. What a world we're going to live in someday. And I'm so
well, I mean, there are
for
Final
it.
Fantasies for the Xbox.
Yeah, I know, but like the banger ones.
Oh, like 7 and 16.
Yeah, 7
You can
remake.
play 7 on the Xbox.
The original.
The bad one, right?
Although it's funny, like, because there was a producer that said, I think, like, maybe this has changed, but there was a producer on there that said, yeah, we're just going to keep, on consoles, we're just going to keep Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth on the PlayStation. We're not moving to Xbox. I don't know if that's going to change now.
It's on PC, isn't it on Xbox?
It's not on Xbox.
For some reason, I always thought it was.
No, it's not. Also, when they say multi-console, it's like, hey, some games will be on PlayStation and other games will be on PC. Like some games will be on PlayStation and PC, but we're not going to do it for Xbox. That's probably what they mean by multi-platform, but I don't think that's going to be the case anymore. I think that more games are going to move over to Xbox. And I don't think you should be too mad that Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth are coming to Xbox. You still got the PlayStation versions. It's not like they're taking them away. Also, you should be more worried that a leaked chart, which I don't know if Microsoft's going to go through with this, but one of them was Square Enix on there. But I don't think you should be also too worried about that because they say, oh, we're just going to do we're going to do multi-platform. That's right. Xbox has said, yeah, we're just going to do more multi-platform stuff now. Like Hi-Fi Rush came to PlayStation, then they killed that studio.
Imagine being sad because more people can play the game that you enjoy.
Dude, people are so like they're just gatekeeping for no reason. I don't get it. Like, explain to me how that is a bad thing that the games you love are going to go multi-plat. Can I explain it in a metaphor?
No, wait. Here's my simple solution. If a game comes to another console, just ignore it. Be like, oh, that version doesn't exist.
Well, that's stupid.
Yeah,
I
disagree
stupid. With that. That's dumb. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. Just be a freaking adult about it. And be like,
maybe
whatever.
If you're such a baby about it, just pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah, he's offering solutions to the children.
Yeah.
Grow up, children. We're in the freaking 2024. Being a freaking baby.
If you see that a version's coming to, if you see that a PlayStation game's coming to Xbox, just be like, just move on. Say, okay, don't tweet about it.
There you go.
Like, how dare PlayStation betray me like this?
See, that's the baby.
Yeah.
Be an adult.
But that's why I mean
okay.
by pretend it doesn't exist. Just say, oh, okay.
Well, you don't pretend.
Yeah.
Just be like, okay, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, I just don't see how it affects it. It's so consumer friendly, and I don't know why people are going to bat for these big companies like it's their freaking big brother or their father or their wife. It's like, dude.
Well, it's a lot of their dads and uncles anyway, because their dads and uncles work at Nintendo. Their dads and uncles work at Square Enix.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Microsoft.
They're probably like,
That's how they got Recon.
My dad said that they would never put Final Fantasy on the
My
Xbox.
dad can get the PS6 early. He's got a beta. He's got a prototype right now. He works at Sony.
I guess.
I want to hear your metaphor. Is that where you're going?
Well, I could explain
I
it
want to
like
hear it now.
I
It's
unironically
like
knew a kid who would say that excuse about my uncle works at Nintendo.
everybody
Yeah,
heard that.
yeah.
The uncle didn't work there. Maybe he was
Yeah.
like the tech support. They
To
would
be
call
fair,
in.
I listened to like this really long like Xbox 360 or Microsoft Xbox leaks video. That was literally how one of the like 360 things or Xbox One things got leaked. Was his dad worked at Microsoft and he got it.
Oof.
I bet he's fired now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Anyway, tell me the metaphor. I'm very
So
curious.
the metaphor is like a buffet, except on your plate, Thane, you can only have meat, and that's it. Okay.
No French fries.
Those French fries, the ice cream that you
I
want.
know you like milkshakes, but no, they're going to the garbage.
Yeah, the warm chili cheese fries.
The warm embrace
Unless
from
unless I
carrying
buy
tender
another
maid.
thing. Unless I buy another.
Yeah, you have to buy if you want drinks, you got to buy the drink pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and Cole, if you want those hot chips you like so much, not on this buffet. Okay, you only get vegetables.
Luckily for me, I love vegetables.
Sure, that's all you're getting.
And you can't have my vegetables.
And for people like me, all we get is table scraps. Okay, and it's really bad table.
You're not allowed to have my vegetables.
And even when we think we're getting a nice freshly cooked meal, it comes out and it's actually just dog shit. That's what we get. That's what I get.
I see. If you get my vegetables, I'm going to be so pissed. If that freaking waitress brings you my vegetables, she's going to get a punch in the eye.
You don't want to share your vegetables?
No.
But if you really like them, don't you want me to like them
F
with
that.
you?
My vegetables
you don't
are
want
mine.
You don't want to share the goodness of
No.
the vegetables?
F you. My tomatoes are mine.
This guy's Nintendo right now.
So
No, I'm gamers right now.
Yeah, here's
Gamers right
the
now.
other thing I wanted to point out too is people have just been losing it over Sony and Xbox for trying to move in the direction of consumer friendliness, which I think that Xbox has been doing the best, and they're kind of like the forerunners for it. No one talks about Nintendo. How the hell are they just slipping under the radar?
They always have.
I know. I don't get
know,
it. I
yeah.
really don't. Like, whenever people talk about the console wars, it's
Out of-
always Xbox versus Sony.
Out of all the people, probably won't budge bringing their other stuff to other consoles. It's probably Nintendo. They're probably gonna say no. We're gonna keep our stuff.
It's
on
because
there.
they're the one company that doesn't
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
They don't rely on getting
Yeah.
more revenue because they will get that revenue.
Yeah, they will get that revenue. And no, I guess nobody really cares.
Well, I feel like they do a really good job too of not only money managing, but not very often do they release a game that is absolute dog dookie. And even when they do, it still sells 12 million copies. So,
Yeah.
I know of one, Super Mario Odyssey.
Even you like that game, admit it.
Wait, I don't like that game. I played it. I just don't like it.
You don't like Super Mario Odyssey?
No, I don't.
You don't get your vegetables
I
then.
know
They're
one
mine.
thing.
My
I know-
vegetables.
I
Nom
know
nom
one
nom
thing
nom nom.
about it. I know one thing I like about it. When you're a little bird and you peck into the wall. That's cute. Other than that, the game blows. Literally freaking donkey balls. Like that.
Well, your opinion's wrong. So
Yeah, your opinion is wrong.
Oh,
Admit
and
it, you liked
I know,
it.
I know another thing in Mario that I like. When you hang out with your buddies, you pick them up and throw them off a cliff. I love that too. That's really fun.
thinking about it though, let's go. Let's just do the Switch generation, okay? How many first-party games has Nintendo made that just did not? They underperformed terribly.
Just donkey nuts, like bad.
Yeah, like Redfall or
Oof.
Microsoft's got plenty on the chopping block. Redfall was really bad. Starfield wasn't great, although it still sold like crazy.
I think the hard part is like I'm sure there are a handful of them from Nintendo,
But you don't hear about them.
you've never heard about them because they were bad. You only hear.
They
about
don't
good
really
Nintendo
advertise
stuff.
the bad ones. Like it's like, oh, we know this game's probably not going to sell. It's not doing so well. Let's not advertise that one.
But I feel like Nintendo does such a good job of taking care of their babies, like the Marios, the Zeldas.
Yeah.
They always do really, really well, and the games are very functional. They function like as they should. Whereas you take Microsoft's baby, which has been Halo from day one, literally day one, and it's like they don't even care about it anymore.
Infinite disappointment.
People are mad about 1-2 Switch because it was just Wii Sports that wasn't packaged in.
1-2 Switch. Yeah.
People are very angry about the Mario parties. Like the
Mario Parties is
Mario
just
parties
like
are kind of bad.
lacking quality for a decade. Like
The new Mario Strikers, people hated that one.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know that. I remember that one. Hearing about that one.
Mario Strikers, Mario Party.
Seems
1-2
like it's just
Switch.
a lot of Mario games, but like when there's
This
actually
homie says Pokemon.
yeah.
This homie says Pokemon too.
Are they homies?
Huh?
Yeah.
Are those really homies?
Yeah, they're having gay sex. Oh, there's a third person they're having a threesome.
So then there are a few.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy says Mario Golf.
Actually, everyone just dunks on Pokemon. Has been dunking on Pokemon lately for the Switch games. But like sometimes when it's like just a labor of love from a developer, Nintendo just gives them time. Metroid Prime 4. I know you're gonna be a banger when you come out, right? Right.
10 years later.
Yeah.
We'll be 35 still waiting for Metroid Prime 4.
Yeah. Oh my god. But when they just take their time to actually make games like I really liked a game called Astral Chain. I know not too many people paid attention to it.
Was that Platinum?
Yeah, but that was Platinum Games, and they clearly knew what they were doing with the game. And it's like, wow, this is actually pretty cool.
That's one of those games that like I've always kind of wanted to play in the back of my head, but I know it's a hack and slash, and I don't really like hack and slashes.
Just put on a podcast.
And Bayonetta 3, some people were like, but it's like they still thought it was a fine game, like a fine cap to the trilogy.
Yeah, you had Hot Mommy in there. Why
Hot
would you
Mommy.
not like it?
See, they figured it out. They're like, well, hack and slashes are kind of they get very stale after a little bit.
Like
but
the first
we'll
two
just
Hot
add
Mommy
mommy
games
milkers in there, keep you distracted the
Yeah.
entire game.
Like that one Halo assassination from Halo 5 where you're the elite and go, Mommy milkers. Like
It's
that
not
one.
real.
That's a real one. I've done that in the game before.
Yeah. Yeah, you got it was the mommy milkers. It was assassination with a killtacular because you just killed a bunch of gamers right before that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a pro. I'm on the MLG.
Yeah. Well, Microsoft and Sony going multi-plat is good. You know it's not good. Layoffs, especially when a company just like they just tear down a company.
Imagine spending multi-millions and billions of dollars on a company and then realizing, oh, you don't got any more money to give them, so you can just get rid of them.
Exactly.
And then after that, you go online and say, yeah, we're on the hunt for developers to make good games.
It's a very bold decision
No,
from Microsoft.
it's just like EA all over again. They used to do this back in the day, and they don't do it because you know why? It was a waste of money.
Microsoft has been doing this since like 2008, I think.
And now people are waking up and noticing it because of all the layoffs now. The thing is so Hi-Fi Rush came out, like stealth release. It's like, whoa, what's this? Everyone buys it. Like, whoa, like I didn't expect this such a banger to come out and we didn't know about it. And it does well. And then they even like does so well. It's like, yeah, we'll release like a PS5 version. About a month later, Microsoft's like, yeah, we're closing down Tango Gameworks, the developer, and several other developers that didn't have his bangers. But it's like, and then Matt Booty, like, I think this is a day later when it shut out. It's like, we need smaller budgeted award-winning games to really like make the market better. And it's like, didn't you just shut down a studio that made a small award-winning game?
Matt Booty.
Here's what I've tried to kind of see where
23 million.
That's
Right.
not true. That's another freaking Google
That's
AI
not a
thing.
Google AI.
We don't-
Google AI.
That's Steam revenue calculator.
That's freaking Google over here saying, "Hey, look, this is a thing I pulled out of my butt." Saying here, this
That's
could
not.
be
It doesn't say Google AI up there.
I know, but Google still does that. They just pull random stuff from articles and try to pretend like they know what they're talking about. Now they're trying to do it with AI.
Let's see what we got.
I don't know. I don't think that's correct. 23 million could be correct, but like I don't know.
3 million players on Steam.
Here's what I see as like, because Xbox, I've seen some interviews with Xbox employees after this, like some of the higher ups at Xbox Studios, and they've talked about how they have like a bar. They have ways to see what, basically their idea of success is not the same as the public eyes. Take something like Game Pass, though, and maybe they have specific analytics that's able to track this, but I don't know how you would track if, like, so Hi-Fi Rush comes out, but what if somebody else, like, lots of people are getting Game Pass for something else other than Hi-Fi Rush? I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't know how you would track, other than when the game releases to, like, maybe months after, kind of like what this is saying of, okay, since this game released, this is how many gamers have joined Game Pass.
Oh, I promise you they know how many people are playing this game.
Sure, no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying how many people signed up because of this or because of something else. How could you track that somebody signed up just to play this, or if they signed up to just play something else on Game Pass?
By the very first game they play.
There you go. Yeah, there it is.
By the very.
Thank you for opening my eyeballs.
You're welcome. I will always be there to help your eyeballs open and see the truth.
And
of Xenoblade Chronicles.
And it does say
Best
20.
game ever.
I mean, there's
Talking
another
about the
one that's
20
saying
million.
the 20 million gross.
Okay, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Here's the tough thing, though, is like, where are they getting that 20 million from? Is that from copies sold or from Game Pass subscription sold? Like, that's another thing. Is like how I don't know how you measure this.
The other thing about Game Pass, like, yeah, it's an amazing deal, but on the developer's end, like, especially when they're doing day one Game Pass, it kind of hurts them a bit because, like, they're not getting that full box revenue usually.
Well, I think
like, buying
Xbox is the one
copies.
putting up the money to pay pay the studios, and I'm sure they take a big chunk of the profits. I don't know what the
well, you
deal would
don't
be.
have to pay the studios if you own the studios.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm sure they do, but like I don't. It's probably a significant less than if they're trying to get something else run.
Well,
day
do you
one
think
Game
they pay
Pass.
them as employees or as like a freelance?
Yeah.
If they own them, they pay them as employees, right?
Probably just employees. Yeah, it's not like, hey, look, your game is selling this much. You guys did great. Let's give you all a raise. I don't think they do that.
See, and I feel like if that's the case, though, then Xbox obviously is the one taking all the risks, whereas the devs are making the game, but they're still guaranteed a paycheck.
No, they're not. I mean, like, they get fired if their game did bad.
Sure, but like I'm saying, working
That's
on
what
the
happened
game.
with Arcane Austin.
No, I'm saying working on the game, they're still getting paid. It's not like these devs are putting up the money and the risk.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, Xbox
yeah.
is funding it all.
Yeah, they're. I mean, like, I don't think they're funding it all. I think the studio still has to acquire the funds themselves. I think they have to put up, like, the studio's got their own funds. I don't think Microsoft owns the fund, or no, they do. I don't think Microsoft controls the funds that each studio has. Because, like, think it, like, if you sell a bunch of games, all of the money goes into the fund of the studio, and in turn, Microsoft gains money from that. Like, they get paid essentially from that, and so does all the developers. They get paid. But they also have to keep that chunk to work on their next projects from that
like
chunk.
when they establish it's probably when, like, so Bethesda establishes Tango Gameworks, because before the Bethesda acquisition from Microsoft, it was a Bethesda formed company. And so they say, all right, here's some money up front to make your game, to make your new survival horror game.
Basically.
Yeah, invest. We'll track your progress. We'll see what's happening. Like, make sure to allocate that money correctly. And then they do, and the game sells well. It's like, all right, all right, we'll still see what you're doing. If you have enough money to make a sequel, then that's good. I don't know if they give them more money to start a new project.
And they could.
Yeah, they could. Like, all right, here's a bit more money or something. And then, but they still have those funds from the old game, so it's probably not going to be as much money. But they still have generating revenue from the first game and all the money they made initial launch to help them make the next game. So it's kind of like a revenue stream to help them keep making games if their first game's successful.
It's probably safe to assume that owning a game development company is probably like an investment.
Yeah.
You put your money into it and you see what you get out. If you don't get anything out of it, you get rid of your investment.
And if that studio loses money, cut them.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. I guess I just don't know. I don't understand. Not that I don't understand. I just don't know what the contract would be. But I feel like if Xbox owns the studios and are putting up all the money, they would take the bulk of the profits and just pay their developers as employees.
Yeah. And
I'm not saying it works that way. It could work the way you guys are saying.
It could be that way, and that would make sense too, because like, what's the fastest way to make money as a company? You ditch your employees. All of a sudden, boom, you made that much money because you don't have to pay those people.
Right.
And so like your way makes sense too.
And I don't know how they do it, honestly. I think it's tough. I think COVID didn't help the gaming industry at all as far as this goes, because everybody's like, wow, everyone's spending all this money on gaming. Let's invest more money in studios into it. And now the COVID boom's gone. And
Yeah.
That's with all electronics, though.
That's
all.
all. Yeah, that's all. That's I'm gonna say that's all entertainment.
Yeah,
because there's been several TV shows were canceled due to COVID, but then there were several other TV shows that cropped up, and then when they start losing viewership because nobody else is watching, they start getting canceled.
Tech as a whole boomed during COVID, and now it's resettling. And like you were saying, they hired so many new people, and now they don't need these people anymore because there's no jobs for them anymore.
Yeah, it's funny you said boomed, because at that same time we all started getting shortages, which is like good for the
shortages of what?
The like technology parts, because
like the actual hardware.
Yeah, the actual hardware. Like
software was booming.
Yeah, software was booming. Hardware was kind of like struggling. Probably people were paying like exorbitant amounts for like scalpers. Scalpers were profiting.
Yeah.
For at least that much, and now they can't really, because people are like tech manufacturers are back on the clock.
Real quick, looping back to the way that we were describing how the companies work, like an investment. It's the same way though. If they can all these people after their investment was successful, it's the same as just cashing out, right?
Yeah, it's like, well, that's one and done. We ain't taking another chance.
Like exactly, like the studio that made Hi-Fi Rush. After they canned them, it's like, cool, we made a bunch of money off of them. Let's cash out our investment. And then we also get money on top of when the game sells more.
Yeah, I was going to say they get all the residuals after that.
They do get the residuals.
Which I feel like that needs to be contractually stated or something. And that's why I feel like I lean more towards seeing it as, and once again, I'm not saying this is how it is, but I would lean more towards, especially for like the developer's safety, of being paid as an employee instead of like, okay, you get this much to develop your game, and then you'll make a certain percentage after based upon all the sales. That's a really big risk for the devs, obviously. Whereas if they do it the other way, at least they can feed their families.
But then if they get canned, they don't get any more money off of the thing they worked on.
Right.
They have to go They have to go join a new studio or form a new studio.
Find a new job.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess if your game is successful, you probably want to be more on the I'm getting residuals for my game forever.
Yep.
Once again, I don't know how that works. I'm so outside of the
risk
business
and reward.
Right?
It's just risk and reward.
Well, I guess I'm saying specifically with Microsoft and their developers.
Sure. But like, obviously, the most reward you get is taking the biggest risk in this industry.
Right.
That's why people like Notch came out on top, because he took the huge risk and boom,
cashed out.
I don't know if he gets residuals for Minecraft still, but he might. I know people really hate him because of stuff, but I don't actually know what he did. But
it's Twitter stuff.
I don't know either.
He said some controversial things.
We don't need to go into that. I was just bringing that up in general. But so I think the whole thing, and that's all business, right? All business is just risk and reward.
I guess what I'm saying, I understand the risk and reward. I don't know what Microsoft has done with their studios as far as like what they've worked out is what I'm saying. Yeah, I understand the risk and reward. I just don't know what Tango Gameworks had done with the agreement, I guess.
It probably was that they don't get any of the residuals because why can them if they're still gonna get the money? Then why not? Why can't them? Why not just keep them?
Right.
So I bet Microsoft gets all the funds from that now. So Microsoft probably was in control of all of their profits and all of their money, and then paying them as employees. Then
see, from a business standpoint, I feel like that would be the smartest. Obviously, you're taking the bigger risk of like, well, if this game sucks, then we just lost this much money by paying these guys for years to make this game. But if it's good, yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of complexities to running a business, and everybody shits on Microsoft rightfully, but also this is a multi-billion-dollar company. Like if you think they don't know what they're doing, you're wrong. Like they have plans. Doesn't mean we agree with what they're doing, but they're going to find a way to make money. That's the bottom line. So even if it is, I guess, sadly getting rid of your employees to save money, but
yeah. It's like if you don't want to support them anymore, then just don't buy the next Xbox console, which rumored to be a gaming PC, something like that. Like it's not going to be a regular home console, but like a PC hybrid.
What I see the issue is people, especially developers, see what Xbox has done and they don't want to build a relationship with them. They're like, well, I could make a banger game and still get canned.
Yeah, did you know Animal Well, an indie game, is not on Xbox? It's on PS5, it's on Switch, it's on PC. It's not on Xbox.
Should be. That's the whole point of the conversation. Put it on everything. Make more money.
Yeah, make more money.
I don't know if he just didn't just get a development kit for it, but
could be.
Yeah.
It's probably partially that, and maybe Microsoft just has bad contracts.
Yeah.
As far as here's what you would get. I mean, I see it similar as getting games or apps on Apple Store versus the Play Store and stuff. Like I remember Fortnite was having a big issue with contracts. That's a whole different conversation, but I feel like it's adjacent to what we're talking about.
You can't even get Fortnite on the stores anymore.
Yeah.
What stores? On
Apple Store.
Oh yeah, Apple.
Google Play.
Yeah, you have to go to the website for.
Can you cloud game Fortnite though?
For the Samsung phones,
so
you have to go
to
to the
play it.
Yeah.
Samsung
phone.
I wonder if there's ways to get the app still on Apple. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of ways on Android. You can just download it directly, like Thane was saying, from their website. I'm assuming.
Think about how much money they've lost though, not having your game on the store.
Well, as much as it looks like everybody is on Apple, I think the market shares Android heavily just because it's cheaper.
Okay.
And then mobile games, we talked about it the other day. China's got the mobile game market.
So are they mostly Android over there then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's cheaper. That's what they make too. So.
And that's why Android's better, because there's more third-party applications beyond what Samsung has.
But that's just a theory.
Yeah.
No, it's not. There's probably data and statistics.
I don't know. That's an opinion. I think it's just an opinion.
Oh, okay.
Did Samsung
I
make
like
Android
better.
Did Samsung make Android or what?
No, they just use it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who made Android. But
Android's the OS, right?
Yeah.
Samsung is a Korean brand. All the Koreans are in our pockets.
I got a Korean in my pocket.
That's a good joke.
She's not as cute as I hope she would be, though. She's kind of rectangular.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
That was Radkatz. We did the thing. Talked rad.
We talked about games.
What do you think about all these subjects? Leave a comment below, and we'll hopefully see you the next 2 weeks.
Play Xenoblade Chronicles.
Bye.